Cartoon Network 64.
Don't miss this!
World premiere Toons! A brand new cartoon every single week, created by some major Toon talent, like Bill Hanna and Joe Barbera, the guys who brought you the Stones, the Jetsons, and Scooby-Doo! Then there's heavyweights like Ralph Bakshi, creator of Cool World, and new guys like Craig McCracken, who's making his first Toon ever! The top Toon talent on the planet is coming together to make world premiere Toons! Catch the very first one on Monday, February 20th at 8 p.m., only on the Cartoon Network!
Alright, now we get an actual game changer to Cartoon Network. This is the first show that I am reviewing that technically falls under a show that I definitely could see making a network out of. Kind of. We definitely got some good ones this time around. And I do give this whole show a pass and say that it's good unlike the first two, but not everything from this was good. And we're gonna go more in depth for that reason. So what exactly is What a Cartoon? Or as some people call it, Cartoon? It was an experiment made by Fred Siebert. It was more or less to get a bunch of random people to make theatrical pilots and see which ones got popular, usually held in a poll, and wherever show got popular enough votes got to be its own show. This was done in the mid-90s. This review is going to be divided into 3 different sections. The first being all the pilots reviewed that did not get turned into a cartoon, the second section the pilots that did become shows, and the last one on Larry and Steve. We'll get to the reason why that gets to be the last one when we get to it. But first, let's do the ones that didn't get a show. We'll go in alphabetical order for convenience sake. Also, this is kind of gonna be like my Moxie show review where I review an episode and not a retrospective like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Let's get the record straight that in some cases, I like to think that the general public's choices aren't usually what I agree with. I notice that in some cases that the popular opinion doesn't always coincide with what my opinion is. Then again, I don't state in every video that this is my opinion, so if your opinion is different than mine, that's completely fine. That should be common sense. But there are dipshits on the internet that don't seem to know that rule. However, in this case, the What a Cartoon thing, it seems to me that most of these shows that did not become shows are bad. Like this first one, it starts with an asshole stealing someone else's sandwich, neglecting a dog and stealing a baby's formula. Aren't formulas supposed to taste disgusting to every human in existence older than like 5 years old? What I'm saying is that this is a bad way to introduce your main character. We find out that an old man throws this orb into the ocean called the Paradox Pearl. Surprised that Steven Universe didn't try something out like that, hence the name. Anywho, the pearl gives you incredible good luck, but unfortunately it then gives you incredibly bad luck. Wile E. Coyote gets better stuff from Acme than this orb here. I don't think Eddie from Ed and Eddie could sell this. The asshole, who I don't know his name by the way, gets it, and then a bunch of random shenanigans happen. A shark chases him, but then he's saved by a boat, but then the boat catches on fire. So then he washes up on a Hawaiian island, but then they want to sacrifice him. Then he gets on a plane, but the plane goes down because of a lightning bolt. Then a hot girl comes along, but then her abusive husband beats him up. It ends with the asshole trying to get the orb to the museum for $10 million and failing. So he throws the orb into the ocean, only for some fishermen to get it and then the cycle repeats. Hey, are we referring to Fosters? No, it's about 3 talking dogs that are tired of living like dogs and want to be more human. I've seen this shtick before. So the 3 become pirates. And then fight off cats? It's kinda like Ed and Eddie shtick but less cool, where the 3 dogs are essentially the Eds and the rest are the cats. Except it's not as interesting as the Eds. Less annoying, sure, but less interesting as well. I don't know what to really say on this one. A bird and a worm get together in a car, and then halfway through the special, the bird wants to eat the worm. It's like the Wile E. Coyote shtick with the Roadrunner, but the Roadrunner is now a worm and more of an asshole that can talk. I hate this. I fucking hate this.
Is this the Humane Society? You better get over here right away.
Rockingham, down the park. Oh, hello there, neighbors. Isn't he cute?
This one is more or less a guy abusing a cat for 7 straight minutes.
I'm always nice to this kitty.
Granted, the ending is satisfying because the owner gets arrested by the Humane Society.
Always petting him and whatnot. Raiding him.
But it's not fun to watch an innocent cat get tortured for 7 minutes.
Eating him.
Not helping is that the other cat is no saint either, but I don't give a shit on this one. Dino from the Flintstones is tasked to keep a cat outside. Crazy shenanigans occur. Next. Dino once again has to take care of things, this time a giant baby dinosaur. 2 idiots deliver a present to the one guy who didn't get a present for his letter wasn't delivered. I've seen this kind of shtick before. This one is basically Ren and Stimpy, but you made the characters a warthog and a giraffe. Surprisingly, the warthog is actually the smart one. I guess to avoid being like Disney. This one uses gross out. I mean, the episode takes place at a sewage plant. It also has a tour and an amusement park. Fairly Odd Parents kinda did this better later on. An old guy tells a story to his grandkids, and the grandkids keep correcting him on facts on his life.
There I was, with my fleet of expensive combines, harvesting my bumper soybean crop.
Didn't you have a mule?
This one's okay, I guess? Most of these I actually don't know what to say for how their quality is.
Even the president asked for my help.
Oh, Gramps, save the world for me. Hello? We never had a female president.
A duck keeps getting captured by a fox, and the gator tries to save the duck since the gator and duck are friends. A crawdad, and I think either a mouse or a wolf, can't tell by the design, try to go to New Orleans. Among the road trip involves Elvis marrying a trucker and a blow-up doll. Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken trying to kill a chicken, and Louisiana chefs want to kill a protagonist, and then he frees a bunch of crawdads. Another one that I can't stand. So babies here could be rock stars and citizens could be superheroes. I don't really like this one. This clown, Melvin, can't take it anymore, and so he tries to kill himself. Wait, what? Aren't all these pilots for attempts at being kids shows? Then the episode makes you want him to kill himself for being an asshole, as he tries to hit on a girl by lying that he can play music when really this other guy named Malcolm can do it. Oh, they made a second one. I literally do not care. Okay, this one and the first one were made by Ralph Bakshi. So I retracted what I said on these being for kids. I suppose the second one is slightly better. There's no suicide attempt this time. I do like this one guy though.
No musical numbers!
A rat tries to get warm in the winter but is failing to do so. Why do a lot of these shorts remind me of episodes of Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes? Two cops track down an evil clown. It's a failed attempt at humor. A pizza boy has to deliver a pizza in 5 minutes or less. Wow, I know we as humans demand instant gratification always, but this is ridiculous. The boy wins, but because the toppings were wrong, he goes insane and gets sent to prison. Was this one even trying to be a show? Because this one feels like a one-time episode. I could say this one's a bit funnier than the others, but SpongeBob's Pizza Delivery is a much better version of this episode. Why are there a lot of these shorts with talking dogs? Wasn't it cliche to use talking dogs by the time the 90s came along? It's pretty much the same slapstick that I've seen in other shorts. Why did this one get 2 shorts? Sure, this one is different than the previous short, but I don't see much reason to watch this one either. Butch Hartman didn't write this one, but that's the only thing that surprises me on it, considering he's the art director. This is honestly the stupidest short. So, an alien from outer space invades the Earth to find a home on a new dog, and the characters are anthropomorphic animals. Why did this remind me of Tough Puppy? The humor for this is what Alpha J once quoted for Butch Hartman's humor, and then the opposite happens. The alien's size is never consistent, by the way, and this bothers me. Also, the dog's house feels like what the world feels like right now with COVID-19. I don't know what else I can say on this one. Of the drop pilots, this one might be my favorite. It's strange how this is the only one in 3D. The animation does look better than the Moxie show. The robot looks like if you mashed the Pixar lamp with WALL-E together. I like this one because I'm not seeing constant abuse for once, but rather cute, experimental robots. Sure, the premise is a bit overused, but I think it's done well here. So basically, this is what happens when John Kricfalusi tries to make a story about a worm.
I'm gonna put it all to rights. What are you looking at? You filthy children!
It's 2 moose that cause crazy shenanigans. These are really just feeling repetitive at this point. I'm getting really tired of saying the exact same things over and over again. I'm starting to take back what I said about this being good. It's about John Arbuckle inviting Liz over for a dinner date, but John has no cat. That's what this episode feels like. You could see the Very Odd Parent Food Fight episode or Garfield's Thanksgiving to see something better. I have no idea what the fuck this one is. A bear, a monkey, and a turtle want to be performing zoo animals, so they go on a road trip to a better zoo. And then they get what they want at the end by some greedy guy. These ideas are bad now, but may I ask if these were even good in the 90s? This is just that one Family Guy episode where Peter was in the 4th grade. So a Western guy was in the 4th grade for 20 years and then stuff happens. In the Old West. Hey, isn't this the same title that Friendship's Magic used? So, a wolf builds a robot wolf to do the jobs of what a wolf normally does. And the robot wolf is tasked to get the 3 little pigs and turn them into bacon. Alright, this one is actually more interesting than the other ones. I could kind of see this as a show in the style of Droopy Dog and Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry and such, but it's fine, I'll give it that. It's better than most of the other ones. Hey, Did you know that Canadians like to say the word A, and they all like to do stereotypes in the north and have snow and such, and bears, and make herdy-dirt Canadian jokes, and that's all this one is? You know what? I take back what I said at the beginning of this being good. This is not good. I originally thought this was going to be good. But honestly, going through all these shorts, this was garbage. Complete fucking garbage. I understand that these were all cast away, not considered good, but I thought there had been like some underrated classics, like some that didn't get picked up. I thought, oh, maybe they could work. But no, not one of them got to be good. Maybe 3 I could consider passable, but for the majority of them, these were bullshit. Alright, last one. What could be worse than all this? Hopefully it's good. Yucky Duck, I'm on my way. Great title, by the way. Oh my god, what the fucking hell? This one has the worst animation yet. Fuck, this one doesn't even look completed. Lack of backgrounds. Are those scribbles supposed to be buildings? All the other failed pilots had complete backgrounds, and they all at least look completed. Is that blank space supposed to be a brick wall? Several scenes have no backgrounds. There is often no lip movement. Alright, the animation is shit, but what about the humor? Oh, this one character has a heart attack, and it's shown that the heart is actually attacking him. Because, oh, it's funny that a guy is having a heart attack. And it's also funny that this one guy is incompetent at being a guy who works at hospitals. At least that's why I think the animation is trying to showcase me, because I don't know, because the animation is that crap. The humor is also often predictable, surprisingly. Oh, this guy gets out of the hospital car ahead to save this other guy, so what happens? The hospital car hits the guy. Predictable. Oof, alright, part 1 was just miserable. But let's take a look at the guys that did get shows. Now, technically speaking, Kenny and the Chimp didn't get a show, but it was combined with the other Kids Next Door short into an actual full-on Kids Next Door cartoon.
What's that label say? Swine flu?
Oh, that's not pleasant to hear in these times. So this boy takes care of a monkey, but in the process of doing so, he gets many viruses, including turning into a black woman. And then he gets naked and has ice cream with an older man.
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
So rather than go through each and every pilot going back, I think I'm just gonna also save them for when I get to the actual shows, because I get to talk about them again. That is, of course, if the pilot doesn't re-air, like, say, the Courage one. But first, no pee in the pool for Kids Next Door, because why not? I still enjoy Kids Next Door to this day, as well as this pilot episode. I do remember watching this episode when I was a little kid, like 6 years old.
Adult Swim is over!
Hey, if you stop Adult Swim, you don't get Rick and Morty, which has been good recently. But then again, they make shit now like fairy tales.
You so long.
Boy, Panzel, who is this Jezebel? Make it stop! It hurts!
Seriously, what the fuck even is that show? It's a subversion of Disney things and other fairy tale stuff that's just not good, like a Mr. Pickles thing. The chicken from outer space comes in and Courage kills Eustace. Funny, I thought this was the pilot episode, not the series finale, because this feels more like the series finale. Although, yes, I am aware that the chicken does reappear in the Courage show. I don't have much to say on Cow and Chicken. The red guy's funny, Cow and Chicken just there. They get better as their show goes on. And one last one for part 2, the Powerpuff Girls, both of their pilots. The one I'm referring to is the one with Fuzzy Lumpkins. There's 2 other ones, but I think I'm just going to save them for the actual Powerpuff Girls review. Trust me, that's going to be a long one as well. This one's already long enough. So the one I'm choosing is the Fuzzy Lumpkins one. Anyone want to tell me why they needed an episode later on for Bubbles to be quote-unquote hardcore? Look at her here. She chopped off Fuzzy Lumpkin's leg, people. I think that means she's already hardcore. And she used a gun. A fucking gun. That's pretty bold for a 6-year-old girl in the first episode. Alright, part 3 of this video. The last thing I want to talk about. Larry and Steve. If you don't know, this was a project done by Seth MacFarlane. He did this before he went on to working with Family Guy. And honestly, I think this is much better than Family Guy as a whole. I don't mean its current state. I'm talking about even back then, like the pilot in general. You see, many people like to say that Family Guy is more or less in edgier Simpsons. But look at this pilot. It's kind of its own thing. Yeah, we eventually get to see the Brian thing in the show, but the dog and human thing was actually different back then. I mean, yeah, a lot of the cartoons had a talking dog, but this time around the dog wasn't stupid. He was actually smart and competent. It was the human that was stupid. And I would have preferred this over the actual Family Guy, even back then. In fact, I think this is the best What a Cartoon episode. Probably the only real good one that didn't get made into a show, which is kind of sad. I think this is the reason why people always remember this one when it comes to What a Cartoon. You're not going to hear people talk about things like Malcolm and Melvin or Yucky Ducky, I'm on my way. They talk about things that got made into actual shows like Powerpuff Girls or Courage the Cowardly Dog. Or Larry and Steve, something that should have been made into a cartoon. Alright, that's all that I have to say for What a Cartoon. There's more I could say, but I'd rather talk about the actual shows than just their pilots to make it more organized. So, what's the first ever Cartoon Network show based off the cartoons? Dexter's Laboratory. Goody.